Good evening, everybody. Hi, Cam.
Yep, she's in the background.
I saw like a floating head. That's
Yep.
all I saw. Guys, thank you so much again. We started things a little differently here today. Before we even did our sponsors, our guest is on with us already. My producer is kind of slacking here a little bit. And
right.
by producer,
I'm
that
sorry,
means
Kandi.
It's gonna throw off the whole show.
Yeah, we gotta stick to the wonderful format that I'm so well known for following.
Exactly. Well, guys, thank you again. It is February 17th. February 17th.
Yeah, a little over halfway.
January seemed to last 3 months itself for some reason. I don't know why. February seemed to just fly by.
Which, I mean, I'm kind of feeling like as long as January took to pass, we should have charged our sponsors more, but you know, that's just me.
Yeah, but it would have washed out in the end because we only have 28 days in February.
That's fair.
So, guys, our sponsors, as Ian brought that up, so we'll fire these off here real quick for you. Warner Paranormal Preservation Society. We just had a couple great videos come out. I've watched all of them that actually shine some lights on the investigations, the locations that we help preserve and help bring history to the forefront with these locations. There's 4 videos in total. The only one I've seen come out has been from the Soul Seekers. I think it's Seekers or Searchers.
Soul Seekers, yeah.
Soul Seekers. They did the House of Hurt and Pain, and I was honestly surprised by what they got. I don't know if you watched that episode.
Yeah, they got a ton of really good things out of that investigation night.
And I've never really had a chance to actually investigate the house that much.
Yep.
So I don't really know. The only thing I know is the claims of activity from, third-party person and things like that. Yep. Whereas the Hall is a completely different story where I've investigated that place multiple times. And we had a video come out by Jason Hawes, which captured some very, very, very good evidence. Some that actually made me scratch my head.
Austin, the Hall honestly is like that every time. The Hall very rarely fails to deliver.
It throws you a curveball.
Yeah.
Just when you think you got to figure it out, it throws you a curveball. We had Austin Hawes, who is Jason's son, who is starting his own YouTube channel. His first investigation was actually at the Hall with his sister Satori, and his dad Jason. And then Cody and Satori also put up a video at the Hall, and they caught something in the basement that I want to revisit and try to recreate.
Same, because the basement for me, I've never gotten anything but a bat, and so
I've always had great
down there.
I've always had great experiences in the basement.
I've never had one.
All right, so honestly, we got through
never had a single one.
So we have our website up and running for Warner Paranormal Preservation Society, where you can get information and see evidence and see links to all the evidence other teams have caught, I guess, on the webpage itself. And also you can stay tuned for events that we're going to be putting on and coming up and things like that.
So we have a couple of events coming up here in the next 2 months. We have a major summer event that I'm actually spearheading. I need to get everything locked in place before I start advertising it, but it is going to be massive. I am going to be partnering with 3 to 4 different locations, not including ours, and going to be providing a weekend experience where everyone stays at a campground, whether it's a tent site, campsite, or cabin. And then we're gonna actually venture out into the surrounding area in the Bridgewater Triangle to investigate different locations. I also have some potential Sasquatch hunting happening. So it's a big doings.
Yep. Some really big things. So if you ever want to see what we're up to over here at WPPS, just check the website. It is
WarnerParanormal.com. All right, moving on to the next. We have Kimberly Ann Photography.
That, folks, is choking on your own spit. That's talent.
So Kimberly Ann Photography, she is obviously my wife, but also a boudoir and empowerment photographer located here in Massachusetts. She does a ton of work. Check her out on Instagram and Facebook at KimberlyAnnEmpowerment.com or Kimberly Ann Empowerment at whatever handle you search, because she's good at social media and I'm not.
And this is why we only have just over 1,000 followers on our show, because I suck at social media too. So
Get moderated. That's me. So I am coming back at the end of this month with the Get Moderated show, which is more of a conversation about theories, sciences, and different studies that have taken place in the paranormal, psychic, pseudoscience, pseudopsychic realms, where we go into factual evidence. Well, not factual evidence, but literary, historic, and scientifically documented theories and paradigms of the paranormal.
perfect. Small Town Productions ran by Mr.
Quick here, you got
Sure. Mr. Larry Eisler the third. Great guy. Kandi knows him as well. And as you saw, Kandi was our guest on that we're having on tonight. She would kind of crash the party in the beginning of it. That's our fault, but let's take a second. Small Town Productions. He does some great filming, intro, outro videos, animation, anything you need for your video side of things. Larry can definitely take care of it. So definitely go over, check him out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, whatever you got. He's all over the medias. He's going to be traveling the country this year, doing all sorts of different events. So before I get into this, I just want to give a quick shout out in the chat room here real quick for our listeners out there. We have Icy Spirits. Thanks for coming. Damien, my brother from Scotland. Much appreciated having you here, sir. We have Stacy Lee. Good to see you, hun. Always good to have you pop in. Jeff Whittam, who we're actually getting into right now. Also, Kent Wilson. Kent, thank you so much for stopping by and listening. You guys are absolutely awesome. So Jeff's Traveling Boards of Wonders. He is the only, well, wouldn't say only right now, but traveling Ouija board, spirit board, talking board museum. He definitely has quite a collection. Definitely up there with a lot of things in his collection. He definitely scours all over the country looking for some rare boards, original as much as he can get, but he also does artist boards as well, where people that do make boards will make a board and send it to him. So we're gonna jump into this video here.
The first annual Maine Paranormal and Horror Con is coming to Maine on September 6th and 7th at the Augusta Civic Center. Come meet your favorite paranormal investigators, cryptid hunters, and horror icons. Special guests include John Zaffis, the haunted collector from Sci-Fi, Jeff and Willie from Mountain Monsters, Bob Elmore Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, CJ Graham, also known as Jason Voorhees from Jason Lives Part 6, Ronnie LeBlanc from Expedition Bigfoot, and many more to be announced. Tickets are on sale now. Go to mainparahorror.com to get your tickets and VIP packages now. For more information, check out Maine Paranormal and Horror Con on Facebook and Instagram.
HorrorCon, if you were wondering, September 6th and 7th, 2025, the Augusta Civic Center up in Maine. If you want to know about the ticket prices online right now, you can get the VIP with the party, which is a fully catered dinner with the meet and greet with the guests and everything like that. Jeff's actually in the chat room right now. So if you have any questions, head over to mainparahorror.com and get your tickets. If you're looking at the prices online right now, VIP with the party, $120. VIP weekend does not include the dinner or the party, so it's $60. And then a general admission for the entire weekend is $40. Single days $25. So definitely some good prices. At the door, ticket, of course, do go up, but definitely check those out and definitely get going over there to that. It's going to be a great event.
And guys, I'm going to be completely honest with you here. I don't know about anybody out there. But the wife and I rarely have a chance to go. We have a 7-year-old here at home. But I can tell you, $80 for 2 people to have a dinner and it'd be a really big social. And I think that's the difference in the price is $80, right? Let's throw that back up there. No, I'm sorry. It's $60. It's a $60 difference between the VIP weekend and then the VIP with the dinner. You are absolutely crazy not to jump on that. Like it's a great deal. You're going to be around a ton of cool people. if I'm not mistaken, Russ, you're going to be there.
Yes, I will be there.
You know,
You will be
and
there if
everybody
I'm not
knows how
mistaken.
awesome I am, so I'll be there.
Ian and I will be there. We're gonna work out some logistics with it and everything, but I believe we may be doing a couple live broadcasts from the event
Yeah.
while we're there. I'm gonna bring the equipment up to be able to do that.
Puppers is freaking out. Hold on.
Puppers again, not a problem. This is what we deal with on a normal day. So, hey, Kaylee. All right, so we're 10 minutes in. I bored you all enough with the sponsors and everything like that. If you are looking to become a sponsor, reach out to either Ian and I on our Facebook pages. It could be Get Moderated, it could be Compass Curiosities, it could be our personal pages, anything like that. If you are looking at a sponsorship, we will work with you on what we can work with what you're expecting us as a sponsor and what we can provide to you as the sponsoree. So definitely.
And I'm not above selling lewd pictures of myself, so just putting that out there.
Hey, COVID hit us all hard, man.
Yep. You know, OnlyMans. That's a page I got. OnlyMans.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, with that being said, we will bring on Kandi. I'm sure she's already been traumatized enough listening to us babble on here for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah,
so, if you will do the honors, Ian.
Absolutely.
Hi, guys.
Hello. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Oh, no. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
I mean, I'll be honest. I think it's a great segue. We went from discussing the main Para Expo, Para Horror Expo, to having you on tonight to discuss just a little bit about your event, just your experiences around that, and just your perspective in general. So thank you for coming on. I know you said thank you for having you, but that's not a thing. We always like having somebody in the box. And so you're doing us the honor by showing up today. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, you're welcome. This is going to be fun.
Well, we try to have fun with it.
Until we get into the serious things.
Yeah. So what's your opinion on politics, religion, and the wage disparities? Just, before.
Russ jumps out. He says, "Nope, not going there."
So we do have a rule on the show, and I do this as kind of like a self-regulator thing. Is I will kick myself or Russ off if I feel like we're about to say something that's entirely too polarizing or damning of ourselves. I have in the past dropped off of lives because I knew where I was going. I've also kicked Russ off of lives because I knew what the next sentence was going to be. So
this is why this partnership works, is we watch each other's backs. And
I do try to censor.
I love it. It's the way it should be.
Exactly.
Just to kind of out of the gate, I don't know, you probably know very little about me, right? I just kind of appeared about a year ago, and I feel like I'm spoken about in like these weird sideways conversations where it's like, oh yeah, I know Ian, and no one knows why they know me.
Yeah.
Or why they know the name. I am relatively new to the field. I've been doing it for a while. Like my entire life, I've had experiences and things like that. But I'm relatively new to the community as a whole and as a larger thing. Like the first major event I went to was last year's Gettysburg Bash. So tell me a little bit about Rock Island. Like let myself and the folks on the side know a little bit about your event.
Rock Island. Of all the places I've been to, this place has insane energy. I've never gone there and not had something happen. And I really fell in love with it back when COVID hit. Everybody was on lockdown, couldn't go anywhere. Derek and I are sitting here crawling the walls, and Lisa, the owner, says, "Why don't you come on down? We can investigate." So we were down there literally every weekend, almost for what, 6-8 months while the country was on lockdown. We're down there investigating. So we got to know Lisa very well, the spirits very well. And there's always something happening in this building.
Awesome. So what is the Esoteric Expo? Like, what is that? How would you describe that event?
Paracon for the community, by the community. if you want it in a quick version. It's
no,
it's
Kandi, we have a full hour. If you want to just plug everything that you do that.
Please plug it.
So and I'm not knocking other paracons that do this, but this is not the paracon where you're going to go from line to line waiting for autographs. This is a paracon where you're going to come, share stories, share experiences, hopefully learn. If you don't come to this paracon and learn something, I'm going to be shocked, because there really is something for everybody, whether it be the CE5, the paranormal, the Bigfoot aspect.
Hold on, CE5. I'm new to the field, so we can't use abbreviations. I don't know them yet. What is CE5?
Aliens. I just learned the term recently, so that's why I was all excited to use it.
She's using it as much as she can.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we were able to do our show last week, I'd probably know that. We were actually going to have a preeminent person in that field on the show last week. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do it.
Oh.
But what does CE5 stand for?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I just know it's aliens.
I'm Googling.
But so yeah, we're going to have, I mean, the Nesper's coming. They are going to bring their museum, not their whole thing, obviously, but Annabelle is going to be there, which is huge for the Midwest, because on the East Coast, you guys get to experience some of that a little easier than we get to out here. So they're going to actually bring Annabelle, Shadow Doll, some of the other items. Tony Spira himself is coming, so I'm really excited about that. And
now, Kandi, have you seen Annabelle and Shadow Doll personally before?
I've seen Shadow Doll personally, but not Annabelle. Okay.
See, I got more off of the Shadow Doll than I did Annabelle. That was personally just me. I did not like the Shadow Doll.
Derek, yeah, he's not a fan of her. He's like, nope.
Yeah, all right. So CE, by the way, I found out. Quick little Google search. CE stands for close encounter. And then the number is like the kind.
Of the fifth kind.
Close encounter is the third kind, fourth kind, fifth kind. CE5 is fifth kind, which is unexplained being.
Cool. So yeah, Nesper's going to be there bringing Annabelle. Wade Kirby is actually going to do a presentation followed by a little blessing for everybody. So looking forward to that.
Awesome.
It's Get Haunted. Can't forget them. They're going to be, yes, Ghosted Magazine. Both April and Danger are going to be there. Get Haunted is going to be meeting.
I just pulled a couple of the graphics from the page to toss them up here just so people can get an idea. I didn't place favorites or anything like that. I just grabbed a couple.
Oh, you're good. The packs are going to be there. Squatch Man is coming with them and the SQs, and they're going to do a Bigfoot thing. My good friend Aaron, of course, Rob and Sarah, Josh Purvis you're fast.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
I was trying to find the people you were talking about.
She's talking about the people you bring up.
I'm like, whoa.
You're making her stop mid-sentence.
I talk fast, but I'm not that fast. Yes, Lily on the side there. She's part of Haunted Happy Hour Coffee. They're going to be there.
Awesome.
These girls, I'm telling you, they are incredible. And
is that the Rhode Island Roadhouse?
Beverage.
No, Rock Island.
Rock Island. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, Rhode Island Roadhouse. That's close. I can go.
Lily, I'm gonna have to get a hold of you. Because I've been hearing good things about that coffee, and I need to try it.
Oh my God! So to give you an idea, I do not drink coffee. Will not touch it. Can't stand it. But it's the official beverage of the Rock Island Roadhouse. So I talked to Lily and I said, hey, could you ever make like a special custom blend for us? And Lily, myself, and Lisa were on a conference call. And Derek, my husband, he's one of those quiet people. He sits there and he never talks. All of a sudden he says, I got something to say. And like everybody got quiet. And he's like, John, meaning John Looney, one of the spirits that's there, the mobster that is Al Capone was afraid of him, to give you an idea how bad he was, right? He's like, John is wanting this or this. And then Helen Van Dale, she's the madam that ran the gals there. She says she wanted something chocolate and cherry. And they came up with Helen's custom blend. It's a Black Forest custom blend. And when we were doing the taste testing, oh my God, I was drinking it. I'm like, I had one. They're like, you want some more? I'm like, oh my God. We found a coffee I drink. And I don't drink coffee.
I could see a good like chocolate cherry whiskey mixture into the bean, because one of my favorite coffees I drink is called Highlander Grog, and it's a Scottish whiskey. And is it Scottish? No, it's the vanilla bourbon and aged Scottish something. I can't remember,
Sarah.
but it's absolutely fantastic. Hello, Sarah.
All right.
You'll have to try it,
Russ. This isn't a pissing contest here or anything.
No. You
Lily,
come up with ideas too.
Don't talk to Russ. When it comes to coffee, if you're going to talk to one of us, I'm about anywhere from a gallon to 2 gallons a day. And that is like a normal go for me. If
his bloodstream is literally 75% coffee.
There is a top tier. I literally, Kandi, this is not a joke. I have 1 Gatorade a week, like 1 32-ounce Gatorade a week.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's coffee and whiskey. That is the liquids that enter my body.
They have, I believe it's bourbon, if I remember right. They got a bourbon infused. Derek loves it. He drinks it all the time. He loves
I usually
their
find
coffee.
the bourbon to be a bit too like saccharine. Like it's like that fake sweet. Like it tastes like it should be sweet, but it's not. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't do coffee
connoisseur.
other than that one, but yeah, it made me drink coffee. So
I gotta tell you this.
I gotta find a way. Lillian, I need a link. Or Lily, yep. I need a link. I need a web page. I need something that I can order this.
Oh, you've got to. You will love it.
Pretty much one of the only coffees that has been out of my purview now is that one where like cats, like jungle cats, have to eat it and then excrete it, and then they got to pick through the poop to find the beans, and then they brew it. That's a thing. That's a thing. That's like the most expensive coffee in the world.
It's so fertilized.
Just come to the event and you'll see them. They will definitely be there serving it up, and yeah, it's
Ian will come back. Ian will come back from Illinois with 6 bags of coffee, like he came back from PA with 2 bottles of whiskey.
Kopi Luwak. Yep, that's it right there. Thank you, Mike.
He'll end up coming back with the case. What are you talking about? He'll be coming in with this huge box.
Most likely.
And then they'll be getting messages. Andy, I need more coffee. I need more coffee. Get
Still
a hold
won't
of
stop
them.
him from going to Dunks.
Well, so I actually had a client who accidentally bought a coffee farm at one point.
Oh, wow.
She ultra wealthy. She did. She was one of the first women. She was the first woman ever to get into solar and wind energy.
Okay.
And she was vacationing with friends, and they stumbled across this beautiful valley down in Costa Rica. And she was like, "This is gorgeous." And she saw that there was a villa like on the side of the hill, and went to the villa, and it turned out there was an elderly couple there that were actually looking to move, and huge language barrier. They were able to talk money. She picked it up for incredibly short money, and about 2 weeks after being there, some random guy showed up and was like, "Hey, what do you want us to do with the coffee? They used to have like a local shop that bought from them. What do you want to do with it?" And she was like, I'm sorry, what?
Oh, wow.
And she had no idea that there was like this massive back acreage, like 75 acres of coffee bean on the property. She thought it was all just field. And she just told him, she's like, "Oh, well, I mean, just sell it. Like, I wanted the house and the view, and you just maintain the farm." So I've had like fresh shipped all sorts of Colombian and Costa Rican coffees and Venezuelan and everything like that. Absolutely wild story. I've dealt with really wealthy people for a while, and there's some, I want to get there because they've got some wild stories. Oh, okay. I think I found it. I'm sorry.
No, he's
Haunted
being
Happy
now.
Hour?
I have severe ADHD.
You're good.
All right, so we'll go on with this. So the Rock Island Roadhouse Esoteric Expo. We also got the other half of Get Haunted there, Mr. Rob Stakowitz.
And they, Rob, Danny, and Sarah, who is, we got to give a shout out to Sarah. She's my partner in crime in this. She's helping me so much. She made all these awesome banners that you're putting up.
Oh yeah, the graphics are amazing.
Yeah, she did amazing with these. They're going to be there leading the VIP investigation along with War Party Paranormal. You know them from Haunted Files on Paraflix.
I love War Party.
And Catherine Cirillo's, her team, Hunger Knights from Greece, are flying over to the States, and they will be there joining in as well.
That's when you got international people come in, that definitely brings a new interesting twist to your event. That's for sure. I just want to say real quick, anybody out there listening, whether it be now or a future listen to this, go ahead and send out some prayers to Rob right now. He's dealing with some family stuff right now, and everybody just thinking about him and hoping everything's okay. So I know he's probably not listening. He's dealing with some things right now. So Rob, we're thinking about you, and hope everything pulls through for you. And we're here for you whenever you need to take that break. So, but we also have Trevor Faith. Love Trevor to death.
Trevor's going to be there. Yeah, that's going to be and we can't forget, you guys are a sponsor.
I am. We are. I did that for nefarious reasons, but that's neither here nor there.
We still appreciate it.
No, definitely. I that's something that Ian and I have actually discussed, that we want to start sponsoring some events and getting our name out there a little bit more with the branding and things like that. Ian looks so
I didn't know
confused.
that.
So how cool is this? Aaron Thompson, very dear friend, love him. Nick Simons, his other half of Ghost Crier, right? They were on 28 Days Haunted. Who is one of the masterminds behind 28 Days Haunted? Tony Spira. They're going to be in the same roof under the same roof together. I'm excited about that.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
It's kind of got me geeking out a little bit. It's like, oh, this ought to be cool.
Of course. And there's Miss Sarah.
There she is. Yes.
So you can find tickets for the Rock Island Roadhouse Esoteric Expo on Extreme Ticketing. That's Extreme with an X. They'll lead you right to all the information you need, price, purchase, everything. So
and we just launched a new website yesterday, rockislandroadhouse.com. So you can go there and you can see more about what we have going on. I mean, Chris Smith is going to be coming in doing an immersive experience.
I love me some Chris Smith for it. That's great. That is awesome. Chris Smith is really good people. Really good people. So
I'm excited to meet him. I haven't met him yet.
Neither have I, Kandi. Don't feel bad.
I've never personally met him, but the interview I did with him couple weeks ago, back before the first of the year, I could have talked to him for 3-4 hours and still had more to talk about.
Yeah. There's so many people that are I'm just so excited. There they are, Haunted Happy. He's into the coffee.
I already got the receipt.
You're gonna have me.
I got two. I bought two of them. I got the Helen's Black Forest, and then I got the Sweet Rum Bliss.
There you go,
Ian. When you get them, I'm gonna have to come over, and we'll have to.
You do know that means you'd have to leave your house for a minute, right?
Yes, I do know that. I appreciate the concern.
Do a live taste testing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
I'll do like a whole Dave Portnoy thing. One sip, everybody knows the rules.
One sip.
There you go. But yeah, there's so many different things. We do have, the metaphysical aspects. So there are going to be people there with Lily just saw your order. I love it.
Yep.
So,
Hi,
there's going
Courtney.
to be the crystals. There's Ghosted Paraflex, a big presence going to be there. Michael, who's watching, Mike's going to be there. He's fun. Josh Purvis.
Mm-hmm.
Searchers. God, there's so many teams, and I'm leaving people out, and I feel bad, but right now we're at about 130.
Yeah, that's why when I was putting together the slideshow and everything, I only picked like a handful because I'm like, I felt like I was standing there scrolling forever, going through all the graphics of who's going to be there and everything, and I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
So I guess real question time, right?
Okay.
We've gone through all the people that are going to be there. We've gone through all the different things that like you have going on that's going to make this event really special.
Mm-hmm.
What makes the event special to you? Because obviously as the coordinator and as the organizer, right? What was the driving force for this on your end, right? You've been very excited to talk about everyone that's going to be there, and that absolutely seems like something that's really fun to you, to bring these experiences out more towards the Midwest and to give that kind of the flyover states, although Illinois isn't a flyover state. You are flyover adjacent.
You're exactly right. It's kind of twofold. One, I wanted to do something to preserve the building. And Lisa, the owner, is absolutely amazing. So I'm always looking for ways to help her get money coming in, because you can imagine, what is it, 50,000 square feet? It's a huge building. There's the basement and 4 other floors. It's huge.
And you're not really in like a super warm climate that you can just turn the heat off all year and just let it go.
No, you can't. It's so, I wanted to help her. And this is like the perfect way to do it, because it's also bringing experiences to people that might not otherwise get them. Like we kind of mentioned earlier, on the East Coast, you probably have a little bit more opportunities to see Annabelle or the Shadow Doll, or to Bill is bringing his talking board museum to the location. Not a lot of people in the Midwest get to see that. So giving that opportunity to them, and just to really have a place where the community can be themselves, get to meet great people, learn something, share stories, and not feel like they're being cattle just herded through tables. Because how many times don't you go to a Paracon or an event and you just feel like you're walking by tables and the people don't even look up and acknowledge you're there? They're playing on their phones. We're doing things to make it interactive, to make you want to stop and talk to these vendors and help the vendors get their messages or products out there.
I'll tell you, I've only ever felt that way once, but I've only been to one.
So you're batting 1,000.
God damn it, Ian.
I do come from a very long line of VIP attendances of Comic-Cons, just because of my own interests and my personal connections and things like that. And I think you touched on something that, for anybody that goes to any kind of conventions, whether it's entertainment or hobby or professional, really, even, you just drudge from line to line.
Yep.
And you get this like, yeah, that's my book. Yeah, I'll sign it if you buy it. Yeah, thanks for coming. And so that is actually a pretty common experience.
And I don't want that for people. Hey, Denise.
So what would you say? Because that's a big differentiator, right? Like, that's a big difference between what you're saying you guys are doing versus just my experience at any kind of convention, paranormal or otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing to bring a different energy in yours, right? Like, what is it that you're bringing to the table? Not necessarily anything that you're like physically doing, but like, what's the energy difference that you have, you think, in yours, where it's not going to be that like, because if I ran one of these events, I'm not going to lie, I would throw a fucking vendor out if they were on their cell phones. Like, if I was responsible for one of these, I would lose my mind if I walked the floor and saw a vendor doing this. I would snap.
Yeah, it's, we're keeping the price affordable. It's $5 to get in for the day. We did that, number one. It'll bring more people in, which helps Lisa's building. And it is affordable you can bring a family of 4, get in for $20 and still have money left over if you want to stop by, like the Get Haunted table and buy a t-shirt, or you want to go over and see Denise and Ernie and get one of their EAD stones. You have some money left over to do some of the things that you want to do while you're at the event. But I'm working with Rob and Sarah. Rob came up with this great thing that we're going to have that is going to encourage people to go say, oh, yep, kind of like a passport. I don't want to give too much away, but it's kind of like a passport. And you're going to get rewarded for doing these different things. So it's not. And what vendor doesn't? If you're coming out, you really do want to sell some of your merchandise or get your word out there, or, whatever it is that you're bringing with you. Why do you want to be on your cell phone? You're coming. No, let's get people out here talking to you.
That would drive me insane.
In my opinion of it, I can see the frustration from an organizer standpoint, especially after the event. If you
no
have
one
vendors,
cares, Russ. Moving on. No, I'm only kidding. Go ahead. Well, no, you made the joke about you're going to get a word at Edgewise earlier.
I know.
At the show. So the first time you started rolling with a good point, I had to cut you off. Go ahead, Russ.
Right. No, but you know what? I can understand the frustration as an organizer, but you know what? Essentially, it's the vendor's own fault.
Yeah.
Like, if they're going to sit there and bitch about how the event bombed and this and that, I didn't make any money. Well, why didn't you make any money? There were plenty of foot traffic. Were you just not paying attention to the people that were walking past? Were you not selling yourself or your product? So I don't feel any sympathy for these vendors that don't pay attention and then sit there and actually bitch about, I didn't make any money. This event was stupid, whatever. It's your own fault.
Well, see, I think, and that's where I would get pissed, because I know at the end of the day, the vendors is going to turn around and be like, this was a shit event. Don't waste your money as a vendor. And like, because we've hosted events at our hall, significantly smaller than yours. We do like small community fairs and stuff like that, where local vendors will come in and regional vendors will come in. And we got usually like, I think it's anywhere between like 23 and 28 vendors. Like, and that is packed to the gills. Like, that is as much as we can fit in there. And I see them. And thank God I'm not responsible for actually running the event. I'm just there to carry things. Because I'd be throwing people out. God love you.
No, I don't do that, because like Stacy did mention on the side, it is more sales for other vendors. But even more important, we don't want the guests to feel like they are just cattle being herded through lines. Like, okay, give us your $5 now, just walk the line and go. No, we want to make them, we want everybody to be walking out. Sarah and I and Lisa, we've talked about this multiple times. We want people to walk away going, wow, I want to come back next year. And, I learned this. Or you get a curious person that might want to talk, start a podcast, talk to some shows and walk out and go, I know what I'm going to do. And I think I saw in your comments, Damien asked if there was disability access. there is a wheelchair ramp there. It is a furniture store by day normally, so we do have a ramp. It is handicap accessible. So the only thing that isn't is some of the presentation rooms because they are up on the second floor, but there is handicap
David,
access.
very thoughtful of a question, asking all the way
Very.
from Scotland on that one.
Very.
But
Hi, Justin. Thanks for joining us.
Denise, yeah, they were there last year. I had one vendor say, this is the event it's only the third year, and each year so far we've had over 1,600 people through the door, right?
That's amazing.
And she said, I don't come here to necessarily make a sale this day. She goes, I have networked with so many people. I've made so many friends. I've got so many leads. So she's in a location owner. She may not book a whole bunch of investigations that day, but when people start booking for their next year, boom, boom, boom. How did you hear about us? Well, I met you at Rock Island. She's like, she can't afford not to do it.
And I'll tell you, like, you told me about coffee, and I had the online order before we finished the conversation, but I am an attendee. When I'm an attendee to one of these, the last thing I want to do is actually like carry stuff. And so I'm a card collector.
Yep.
Where like I'll have a conversation with somebody, I'll like what they have, whatever. I don't need it today.
Oh.
And so I'll take that card, and then when I get home or like the day after, I'll hop on the site and I'll go onto the shop and I'll buy what I wanted. Because typically vendors don't come up with a ton of different things. No. But I'm absolutely the second, third, fourth day out person. My wife's been a vendor a ton of times, whether it was back when she did the Color Street for a while. She did a vending, and that was never about the people that bought there. It was always about the people that reached out 2-3 days after. Yeah. And then for me as a consumer, that's all it ever is I don't want to carry 18 bags around a convention hall.
No, I get the books or something like, oh my God.
Oh, when the author's there and you get the signature.
Something like that.
Absolutely.
Like, let's say I'm one of these people, okay, Nesper's going to be there with Annabelle. If they were selling mini Annabelles or something, I'm the fool who's going to buy a mini Annabelle to take home with me. I'm the one who's going to do that. But yet at the same time, the coffees, the unless there's a certain crystal that I need, I will get the cards, go online, shop their store, and probably end up spending more money than what I would have at the event.
I'm 100% guilty of that. Like, I'm an over shopper after the fact.
A lot of these people don't understand, or a lot of these vendors don't understand that haven't been doing vending for a while. Is just because you don't get a sale today doesn't mean you're not going to get a sale tomorrow. Because that's why you need to make those networks.
Yeah.
I was very lucky. Very early on in my career, I had a job where I had to do a lot of trade shows. And so I understood the value of getting the name and number and not the sale.
Yeah.
Because the name and number was worth way more than the sale.
Yep.
But there was a couple of things that we talked about backstage that I want to touch on before. So we've talked about kind of what makes yours different, what makes yours great, why you actually do it, what you're bringing to the table. And we touched a little bit on some of the frustrations I know I would have as an organizer of the event.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously there's been a lot of, I'm just going to call it spade a spade. There's been a lot of bullshit going on.
Animosity, bullshit.
When it comes to, when it comes to these events and just organizers really like people trying to fuck over the organizer over very personal things with people that aren't even the organizer, right? And I found out earlier today, you and I have a connection that we didn't know we had prior to going into the show. We know some mutual people that I personally have had some horrific experiences with, and I'll be very candid with it. And honestly, at this point, like, is anyone opposed to me saying who I'm talking about?
Let's not. No, we don't need to name names.
Okay. Because I mean, I had a person that, without knowing me, right, and without knowing my wife, only
You
knowing
could,
us like very much on like Facebook,
you could tell the story, Ian.
attempt to do some damage in my relationship.
Mhm.
You know, luckily my wife knows who she married, so you know, no harm, no foul. But it's this same like collective group that are causing problems up here in the Northeast.
Mhm.
And so, like, is that, and I can only imagine that as an event organizer, seeing things like that play out in New England, right? There must be at very least a small part, and again, you can abstain from answering. I don't want you to put yourself out there in a negative way or a dangerous way that could harm you or your event. So just tell me to shut up if I need to shut up. But there's got to be a part in the back of your brain that's like, oh well, shit, I'm seeing all this nonsense going on up in the Northeast. You know, how long is it until someone decides that I'm the villain, or someone decides one of my guests are the villain,
And it creeps its way that way.
and then that creates a
It
situation
already
where you no
has.
longer want to do the event.
It already has, and we were full steam ahead with the event. I think, I don't know if you watched the town hall.
I
That
did, yeah.
was a week or two
Yes.
ago. We were on there and we discussed it. So it's nothing that isn't already out there. Rock Island, the owner, Lisa, and we were reached out to and basically told not to have a certain group, be associated with the event. We basically, no, block, we know the truth. We blocked,
Yeah.
it's done, it's over with. And they in turn posted the messages that they sent us in a group and said that we didn't care about the community because we were letting these people come, and we're like, nope. They even
So
took,
I'm assuming the people that they were wanting banned were like super high level convicted felons of some aggravated assault of some kind.
no, it was all bullshit made up stuff. But
Okay.
yeah, they took the event and made a poster for it being the Erotic Expo instead of the Esoteric. It's,
I mean, I'm
but
not gonna lie. You know, I said it on the town hall. I'll say it again. If you start selling tickets to the Erotic Expo, Illinois might be worth the trip for me. I don't know.
but you know what? Us talking about them is giving them the attention they want. And to me, I don't even feel, we voiced our concerns. I'm one of those, let's move on forward. Let's make the event a success and let that speak for itself.
And so, in that vein, right, in that air of moving past the bullshit, moving past the negativity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where can people buy tickets for your event? Because I don't even think we have that. We put that up yet, have we?
You can go to Extreme Ticketing. The tickets are available there. Or if you go to the new website, rockislandroadhouse.com, the link to take you right to Extreme Ticketing is there.
All right, let's do this. Oh, look at that. I'm the one that's in charge of the Warner Paranormal website,
Okay.
and I'm not very good at it. So I always like seeing what other people do for their webpage. Here we go. Look at that. October 4th this year, for anybody that was curious, because I don't think we mentioned the date yet, did we?
Oh,
No, but it was
God.
up on every graphic.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. I'm an audio learner.
So yeah,
this is awesome.
We're trying to. That's kind of our theme, changing the way you Paracon. That's Sarah and I talked about. We've had a lot of conversations, and that's what we want to change, changing the way things are done. So
I love it.
course.
That's awesome.
So, Kandi, you run a podcast yourself that you are bringing back.
With Catherine Cirillos, yes, Oracle Whispers.
And
gonna
where
have
can
a
they
good
find
one.
that? What day, time?
Sunday, 2 p.m. Central on the Get Haunted Network.
Another Get Haunted host that took a reprieve of sorts while she dealt with the organization of this great event that we were here to talk
Between
about.
that and having pneumonia and then influenza, it's like one thing after another.
You just get hit with everything back to back.
Yeah.
Yes, Dave.
Yes, it is.
Catherine
is the lady from Greece, and she's
Yes.
coming to the event. So, see, you should come in from Scotland.
No, it's
and meet all
the
of
Greek
us.
lady. It's the Greek
Greek
lady.
lady.
The Greek
Yeah.
lady.
Greek lady. She owes Rob a bedtime story.
Oh, geez. Is it going to be? Was it Nona Stroga? Was that the? Or was that Italian? I think that was Italian. The Nona Stroga.
Not
Yes.
familiar.
I think it's an Italian bedtime story about a witch with a magical cooking pot and a young man who learns the words but doesn't know how to shut it off. Maybe it's just a me thing. I don't know. I grew up with it. I can't. I'm gonna have to send it to somebody now because now I sound like a crazy person.
Great. Now I'm gonna get it.
You're gonna get a bedtime story tonight.
I'm gonna
Ross.
get a bedtime story. I'll read it. I'll listen to it only if Ian reads it to me.
I'm an excellent narrator.
Like he needs
I
to send
do
me like
all
voice
voices.
clips, and I'll just sit there and listen to it.
I'll tell you. I was going to this past year. I was going to do. I was going to go live on the Get Moderated and do the Grinch
Nice.
because every year the Grinch goes into the cycle, and for 7 years I've been working on the voices and the memorization and the cadence and everything like that. And I'm not going to pat myself too hard on the back, but the original narrator for the 1968 film has nothing on me. So.
Uh-oh.
I see a future story time with Ian coming.
Oh,
I was gonna
absolutely.
say, give us a sample.
Yes.
All the Who's down in Whoville. Now I don't have it memorized. All right, give me 1 second.
Love Christmas a lot, except for the Grinch.
Well, all the Who's down in Whoville loved Christmas a lot, but the Grinch on top of Mount Crumpet. Son of a bitch.
Who lived just north of Whoville did not.
Yeah. All right, give me 1 second.
Now he's gonna have to Google it so he can read it.
Admittedly, it takes me about 4 or 5 days in the Christmas season of reading it to actually
Have it memorized.
Yeah. Oh, here we
You
go.
got what? 11 months. Start on it.
That was weird. All right.
I was gonna say you're muted.
And did something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing. And they'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing, 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 sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. I must stop Christmas from coming, but how?
Oh,
I've been doing this for 7 years.
I love it.
And
You
so
got to do that at Christmas time.
Yeah, well, we're the Compass Curiosities 2025. We will have story time with Ian.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, no, I love doing the stories of my son. It's one of my favorite things. Narrating and doing voices have always been something that I've just enjoyed. Anyway,
You're just a goofy fucker, so I mean,
I am.
Aren't we all?
We are, and we fly that flag proudly.
Yeah, it's a strange flag, and but damned if it ain't flying at my house.
Well, you know what, Ian? Going back to a statement you made earlier in the show, I guess we're gonna need to get you out to a couple more events to see that not every event is the same. I know that one event can ruin it for you completely. It just leave
What's
a bad
funny though
taste.
is I really am like the three strikes kind of guy. I actually had a really good time down in Gettysburg, despite some of the things that like really
Were
should have
happening.
spoiled the soup for me. But the amount of like people that I met that were just, and again, it comes back to what Kandi was saying earlier. It's about the people, it's about the networking. It's not necessarily about the event. It's about the people you meet at the event. And it was amazing. I met some absolutely wonderful people that I'm still in contact with now. And it was excellent to have a day where, because we did that, I don't know, 2 a.m. bridge trip.
As Stacy just brought it up in the chat room.
Oh, did she? Yeah.
Yep.
Bridge at 3 a.m. And so I think a lot of the time, even if you're in like an event that isn't really catering to your experience, you have the ability to make an experience regardless. And so I started a small fire on the grounds of Gettysburg Bash, and
it was a completely legal fire. Well, I mean, yeah.
They had set up a fire pit outside for like cigars and whiskey hour, and then they left the fire pit set up. So I went into the woods and
pulled out an entire tree,
bunch of wood, and we did bonfires every night.
See, I would love that.
It went great. And then, but it's so, again, like you don't have to live and dwell in the negative of situations, which again, Kandi, I love that was your response, was like, we've addressed it, we're done talking about it, moving on.
Yep.
Like, I love that. Because there's absolutely 99.9% of the time I am in that camp. I just have a thorn in my paw about one particular thing. I don't know why I can't get it out. Like, and Russ knows, I've had people do horrible things to me in my life, and I don't mind. And like, I just move past it. It's like, it's whatever. So I have no idea why this one lives so vibrantly in my brain.
It hit you a different way.
It did.
We all have that one thing that.
You know what it is? Is because I think maybe for the first time, I actually didn't consider myself guilty of something before it happened.
There you go.
Because if you know me and you do something mean to me or cruel, I feel like I might have earned it just by like, I have a weird aura. I have a weird energy. Not everybody loves it. And I get that. And so I give people a measure of distance. This one, they didn't even get the minute to know me before they made their move. And so I think that's what sticks in my craw.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
I'm dwelling.
Kandi, you're definitely going to have to meet Ian. He is an experience himself.
Come to Rock Island.
I've been looking at plane tickets and everything, but like,
it's only a 14-hour ride.
I can barely do Gettysburg, and that's 9.
Come with Ian. Come together. It'll be fun.
My wife and I did a day
because
trip
of my surgeries. I can't sit
Frankfurt
in a certain way for so long. So
how far are you from Frankfurt, Kandi?
What's that?
How far are you from Frankfurt?
I have no idea.
South of Chicago. It's like just south of Chicago.
Chicago is 2 hours, about 2.5 hours from Rock Island.
North, south, east, or west?
I'm an hour and a half away from Rock Island. I'm over in Iowa.
Oh, wow. So west of Chicago then?
Yes.
Okay, so that's 2 hours further. So that's like...
And you see why I was looking at plane tickets. I don't care if he's
thinking about coming. He's got his, you can see the wheels turning.
Well, you know what, Kandi, my thought process
it's 1,162 miles, Russ.
Wouldn't it be great to have 2 people that are sponsoring the event have a table at the event and actually be there and meet everybody? And put
A lot
faces
of our
to the name.
sponsors are. Yeah, it would be awesome because Get Haunted, they're a sponsor. They're going to be there. You got Paraflex,
Oh, you know what?
Natalie Jones.
I completely forgot. We just need to ping Rob and Sarah and see if we can't borrow the company jet.
Yeah, right. They always have that fueled up.
Yeah.
If they don't have the jet, just tell them we'll take the helicopter. Okay.
Denise is
Drive
right.
your
Just
ass
put
in the
your
air.
ass in the air.
I want nothing to do with that, Denise. We're gonna get some strange looks going down the highway.
I
No,
love
but
Us
the thing
is
about it,
face down, assed up in the passenger seat.
the bad
I
thing about
love
this
it.
is in my mind, literally in my mind, I pictured me doing that and then me turning into a parachute because Ian has the window down and Ian knows why.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I'd be like one of
Oh,
those
my
wind
God.
things on the antenna.
Damien, full moon or total eclipse. I love it.
I mean, it may be
My
the blood
Sarah,
moon.
hope
I
it's
don't
an
know.
eclipse.
See, you guys should be there. I think it would be awesome.
Ian and I we have a couple things to discuss. Him and I need we live 10 minutes apart from each other and we still can't even pound down a day to get together and actually discuss
Whoa,
stuff.
whoa,
Do a
whoa,
live
whoa, whoa.
show from
It's
there.
not we, Russ.
It's me. It's
It
me.
is not we. Don't try to blame me for this
I
shit.
don't
I'm not
have a
part of it.
fully functional car right now. If you were to tell me, hey, meet me at the studio in, at 6:00 or something on Friday, I'd be there. I'd meet you.
All right, we're not bringing our marital issues out into the public here, okay? Because I told you last week we needed to meet at the studio, and you said, "All right, I'll let you know when I can get there," and then you never let.
And
me
then
know
never
when you
heard
can
anything
get
from you.
You said you were going to let me know. I see. This is why I flirt with Nicole, because she needs someone that pays attention. Killing me, Russell.
All right, Kandi, we got a couple of minutes left. Plug yourself, plug the event, tell people where they can find you, what you're doing with your show, with the event, with everything. Just kind of take this time to plug yourself.
Rock Island Roadhouse Esoteric Expo, October 4th in Rock Island, Illinois. Tickets on Extreme Ticketing, or go to rockislandroadhouse.com or their Facebook page. You can find me on Facebook under my name, so you can find me. Or our show with Catherine Cirillos on the Get Haunted Network at 2 p.m. Central Time on Sundays.
So, Kandi, one last question. So, for the folks that can't necessarily physically attend the event, what can they do to help support the event?
Mm-hmm.
Share the information out. Get the word out. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Or if you want, we're putting together a raffle. You can't come, but you're an author, you wrote a book, or you want to send a donation, get a hold of Sarah and I, and we'll get that in the raffle.
Awesome.
Damien just said, be there or be square. He's coming to visit everybody that didn't show up. Not really, but
we're just trying to get him to visit, just trying to get him
he
stateside.
says be there or be square, no excuses. Well,
there
that
you go.
goes for you too, Damien.
Stacy had a good question here. Would you expect a sponsor who can't be there?
Get your asses on a plane. If Annabelle can be there, you two can be there.
To be fair, Annabelle gets brought there. Annabelle doesn't pay for her own flight.
Annabelle gets first class treatment. With oven mitts.
Oh my God! You imagine being that, imagine shipping that and not telling anybody.
What's in the package, sir? Possessed doll? What?
It's a demonic doll. No big deal. Hope you're not superstitious.
Just the most well-known doll in America, or even the world,
Back.
I was listening to a show the other day. I was at work and I, to pass the time, while I'm typing, I have the earbud in, And I was listening to this thing, and it was talking about the haunted Annabelle doll. And they're like, and to this day, nobody knows where the Annabelle doll is. I'm like, okay, I can't listen to this anymore because
Nobody knows where it
it's
is.
tucked away safe and sound.
Oh, that's
Pretty
a
sure I could
riot.
take you to where it's at. I mean, you know.
Yeah,
Right?
like, I'm pretty sure for like a few months out of the year, like all you have to do is pay entry to, you know, the museum.
I don't think they
And
have
you
it
just-
set up as a private sector anymore. I think the only time you can see the museum is if you actually go to the event where Nesper is actually going to be at, where Tony brings out the artifacts and everything.
Oh, well, because I know
that's
he's
my
traveling
understanding.
with it, but I thought,
Wade's in
I
the
thought
chat
he-
room. He could probably shine a little more light on that. But
yeah,
I mean, can you imagine Dan Riviera, Tony
oh, they have a
Sparrow,
priest in the car to travel with it.
Wade's face if they walked into that museum one day and Annabelle was gone?
Oh my God.
Like, that would range from a flight of panic to I need to call the cops who broke in. Like,
Yeah, I was like, okay, yep, I couldn't even listen to that show anymore because I'm like, they were just talking. So yeah.
Nonsense. I don't know. Like, I feel like if I was in that position, though, Russ, I would feel a little bit like, I don't know. And again, I'm a big nerd. I would feel like it was the One Ring from Lord of the Rings, right? Like, if I just, like, it was gone one day, I'd be like, oh, hey, not my problem
not my
anymore.
burden anymore.
Not
Not
my
my
burden
burden.
anymore. Like, someone else is going to have to carry that to the fires of Mount Doom.
What was
Give
that
you a
meme I
ticket,
saw?
Damien? We got you a ticket. Not a problem.
What was that meme I see going around on Facebook? What is it? The oh shit, I just had it in my head. The somebody dumps a doll on somebody's porch that says your problem now.
Oh, that's savage.
It's like somebody
I love that idea.
puts a random doll on somebody's porch and leaves a note that says your problem now.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God. I don't know how I haven't thought of that.
Yes, you
I have
do,
an old
Damien.
HOA that I would love to do that to.
Oh God. That would be great. That
Oh,
would be
that's-
great.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm going to Savers tomorrow.
Oh,
to
God.
get yourself some haunted dolls.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go right to the haunted section of Savers.
Yep.
Grab me a
They
couple
have
of
that now.
dolls.
They have that now.
They've had that for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
watch
kinda
these
like-
YouTubers hit it up all the time.
It's kind of like Bed Bath and Beyond. It's the Beyond.
Yes, the Beyond from Bed Bath and Beyond.
All right, Candy. Well, you've been absolutely fantastic with us.
Oh, this has
you know,
been fun.
I can't wait. We're gonna have you come on again prior to the event to stir it up a little bit more and push you a little bit more one time. Maybe we can get a couple of your guests that are coming to the event, some of the featured speakers and things, and have them on with
Wade
you.
Kirby.
Okay. All right. Well, I know Kent
They just
Wilson's
got
coming.
voluntold.
Yeah, he got voluntold. But yeah, I mean, we'll work something out with it. But Ian and I appreciate you letting us sponsor the event. That I know that helps you guys out with the organization of it and everything like that. But the network that Get Haunted has built for all of us, and not only just the podcasters that are on the Get Haunted network, but for anybody that listens, for anybody that is incorporated with it or anything like that, you can find something for everyone. Like you have this show, which is a very laid back, joking, but still informative show, or you have Ian's show where he's very in-depth and very
Oh yeah, Candy, if you've never seen my show, I'm a Jekyll and Hyde situation. This is the show.
I'm over here with a dictionary going.
Yeah.
I need an encyclopedia.
That's on my show is where I get to really like hyper focus and drill down on mythology, the science behind different things, and like I adore that stuff. The fact that we've done so much research into what the human mind is capable of. And we've just barely scratched the surface as individuals and being able to access it.
Ian,
Yeah.
side note really quick, you need to tell this story because Stacy just nailed it dead on.
Oh, Stacy. So, Russ asked me to pet sit for him one year. I think it was Gettysburg.
It was Gettysburg.
2 Gettysburgs ago.
Yes.
And I had said to Russ before, you know, like, yeah, I would actually love to go to Gettysburg. Let me know when it is. And he didn't. But he did ask me to pet sit. And then I found out he was going to Gettysburg, and I was like, oh, that's convenient. I wanted to go. And he's like, yeah, but, you know, can you? Of course I can. I'm not going to let your pet die. I'm not going to let your bearded dragon die. I love bearded dragons.
Mhm.
I'll take care of him. I have experience with bearded dragons. So he gave me his house key.
Biggest
And
mistake of my life.
and about $295 later on Amazon orders, I had 1,300 glow-in-the-dark googly eyes.
Oh my God.
I had 2,800 army men. I had a completely new set of family photos of my son, varying different sizes. And on the first night of house sitting, I put googly eyes all above their bed, so it looked like an eldritch horror was staring at them in their
Oh,
sleep.
Jesus.
And then I put them randomly throughout the house, along with the army men. And then this was actually day 2, because the photos happened between day 1 and 2. I took a stock and inventory of every photo they had of each other, of Russ and his wife, every photo they had in the house. And I printed a photo of the same size of my son and replaced every photo in the
single
house
picture
with a picture of
Now,
my son.
If
Every
you see
single
behind
photo.
me, if you see behind me, this is a board that has 15 different clothespins on it, to where we had 15 different pictures hanging. There
Okay.
were 15 pictures of his son hanging there.
Yeah. And they had this beautiful, like 10 by
Our
14,
wedding picture.
the 10 by 14 wedding photo that I just blew up a picture of my son for, just swapped that out. Yeah, but googly eyes all over the house. And actually that mask behind him, does it still
Had
have them
eyes
in it?
No, it wasn't that one. It was the original one. That's the one
Oh,
that
okay.
actually has the full eye slits.
I have seen the aluminum foil prank, Stacy. But aluminum foil is fucking expensive these days.
Right.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
I don't
let's
have a
wrap
YouTube
up.
channel to do it. But sorry.
Kandi, again, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
We're gonna have to, like I said, we're gonna have you come back on again, closer to the event, so we can bring back some, get some more attention to it again. Well, I have a feeling my house is gonna be gift wrapped at some point or something, because I just saw Ian give the thumbs up.
I am way too lazy for that kind of prank.
Too much time for you.
I'm not above paying someone to do that, though. So,
Anywho,
and I have
Sure,
lots of
it's
nieces
done.
and nephews. Lots of nieces and nephews.
just buy them lunch and give them soda and let them go wild.
I'll get the 20-year-old a 6-pack of beer, and that'll be done.
Fair enough. Ian, you got anything? I got nothing else.
I don't. Honestly, this has been an absolute phenomenal episode. Kandi, thank you so much for coming on and joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Oh, heck yeah.
Excellent. And I look forward to having you back on a little bit closer to the event. Like Russ said, we've had a significant amount of blessings through the network and everything like that, to not only get us more exposure out there for our own stuff, but also for our own like growth and change in the field and learning different things. So one of the things I love doing is really giving a voice to these types of events, especially ones that are preserving locations, because that's what we do.
It's not going to somebody's pocket.
Well, but that's what we do at Warner Paranormal too. So it's a cause that I can definitely relate to. And, you know,
Definitely.
there's so much history and so much honest activity at a lot of these locations. It's tragic to see them go by the wayside, and anything we can do to really preserve the history of, and for us especially, the history of America. I mean, our location is a Civil War veterans congregation hall.
Oh, wow.
And so
1899.
And again, benefits of being in New England, right? You know, everything's fucking 400 years old.
Yep.
So, you know, our 7-Eleven is a building that was built in 1779.
That used to be a horse stable.
Yeah. So we got a competitive edge for the history, but no, what you're doing there and keeping the history on those locations alive is so important and so good.
Kandi, how far are you from Alton, Illinois, where you're doing the event in Rock Island? How far are you from
Alton? About 5 hours, 6 hours.
Oh, shit. It's up there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it south?
Huh.
Alton is south.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do not overload Ian.
No. Did we forget the conversation we had 2 weeks ago, Stacy? Our shows are on at the same time.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I can't co-host your show unless I don't do mine.
Oh, good Lord. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening again. As you know, we always run over, which is completely worth it because we will bring you guys everything you guys need. And, you know, our goal here at Compass Curiosities is making sure we're providing quality content and quality guests for everybody out there listening. And so far, I think we've done a pretty good job.
That's wild. I never got that mission statement. I never signed off on any of that.
And with that, Compass of Curiosities will not be next week because Ian just shit the bed on us. So
no, I didn't. Hey, look, I'm here to have a good time. That's all it is. We're here to have fun. We're here to talk about cool stuff. That's all we're here for.
All right, guys. So next week we have Ellen McNeil and Jack Kenna coming on. Investigators here in the New England area. If you're in the New England area or anywhere all over the country, you probably know Jack Kenna. He's been on multiple shows and everything. So definitely be a great episode to check into next week. So with that being said, guys, be safe out there. I know you guys are out there getting hit with all sorts of floods, winds, rains, snows, everything. Just be safe out there. Be respectful, be nice, be kind to one another, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be standing alone. So with that being said, guys, have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Stay blessed.
The first annual Maine Paranormal and Horror Con is coming to Maine on September 6th and 7th at the Augusta Civic Center. Come meet your favorite paranormal investigators, cryptid hunters, and horror icons. Special guests include John Zaffis, the haunted collector from Sci-Fi, Jeff and Willie from Mountain Monsters, Bob Elmore Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, CJ Graham, also known as Jason Voorhees from Jason Lives Part 6, Ronnie LeBlanc from Expedition Bigfoot, and many more to be announced. Tickets are on sale now. Go to mainparahorror.com to get your tickets and VIP packages now. For more information, check out Maine Paranormal and Horror Con on Facebook and Instagram.